Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois Season 2, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 6 for this season, otherwise entitled Tried and True. But of course, let's watch the trailer before we talk about anything.
Everything about this me is bizarre.
Huh?
Bizarre.
Oh.
I need to understand why he's here.
There is an inverse to us all.
A bigger threat may be coming.
So last episode was the return from the 2 or 3 week break that we had because of the Winter Olympics, and they returned in style. Like, it was a bit of a, as I said in my review, most likely yesterday from when you're watching this video, if you're watching it, that it was a bit of a mellow episode because we had the quinceanera, or whatever it was called, with Sarah Cushing, which of course took up about, I don't know, like a third. We could argue it's running about through half the episode. But then the other side is that we had a lot of stuff with Ali Alstrom dealing with this inverse method cult sort of thing, and then the Bizarro stuff, and then seeing how it's all connected, and then eventually seeing that we have this common enemy, at least for now, between Bizarro and Superman and just everyone else on the show, that of course being Ali Alstrom. You know, just what's she up to? How is it expanding this far? Obviously, that's all got to be revealed. But, well, it's starting to, you know, push in that direction, if you know what I mean. And I'm intrigued to see how they make it all work. But this episode, this trailer, might I say, looks like we're going to be continuing that story in a pretty interesting fashion. But of course, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly read out the synopsis or description for the episode, as it does give us a bit more context to what's going on in this episode and also emphasizes some of the stuff that's seen in the trailer. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your general thoughts, opinions, theories, predictions, everything like that in the comment section down below. I'm always curious to read what you guys are thinking and what you're looking forward to the most, so let me know all that down there in the comments. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this episode and you're enjoying everything so far this season on Superman and Lois, why not drop a like on the video to do all that? Lois tells Clark that she and Chrissy plan to do a deeper dive into the inverse society, and Lana and Sarah try to comfort each other after the fallout at Sarah's quinceanera. Meanwhile, Jordan notices something suspicious in Jonathan's book bag. Lastly, Lieutenant Mitch Anderson finds himself under fire for the deterioration of the Department of Defense's relationship with Superman. So just quickly, this needs to be said, this episode is actually being directed by the former Pink Power Ranger, that being Amy Jo Johnson. So I wonder if we're going to get a Power Rangers Easter egg or Power Rangers moment in this episode. That would be perfect. That would be cool. That would be fitting. Even if they say like Morphin time or Morphin in some way or shape or form, I'd be happy. But I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But she's directing this episode, so just thought I'd mention that. Bit of a fun fact. But just overall in regards to this trailer, it's a very interesting trailer and a bit of a unique one. It feels like they had extra time to edit this, put it together, put interesting graphics on it. Maybe because of this 2 or 3 week break roughly from the Winter Olympics, they thought, hey, we don't have to release this trailer as early as we, would with if this break wasn't here. So let's have some fun with it. They're flipping stuff around. We got like little, us going through letters and everything like that. Just feels like more, more focused on than the previous trailers for this season and some of the other shows as well. Just, I don't know if I was the only one that noticed that, but just thought I'd point that out. But in this trailer, we have the funeral for, presumably, the 2 soldiers that Bizarro killed. Now, the interesting thing with this is that this footage was shown in the episode 5 trailer. You know, that trailer that they showed after episode 4 for the episode that's just gone by. So obviously they just combined some footage from the episodes to come and made it, but they titled it for episode 4. Like, they put the episode 4 title in there. A bit confusing because the funeral never happened last episode. I was like, wait, what about that funeral? Like, they referenced the people dying again in this in the episode that went past that we just watched this week, but we didn't see the funeral. But obviously it's happening in this episode. So bit of a confusing one. Not too sure if it was meant to be in last week's episode and they moved that scene to this week's. No clue, but it's in this trailer and presumably this episode. But we can assume that the funeral is for the 2 soldiers that Bizarro killed, the 2 super soldiers, whichever way you want to put them. But as the synopsis does say, Lieutenant Anderson is going to feel the heat after the tension between himself and Superman and the deterioration of just the department's relationship with Superman as a whole. Obviously, Lieutenant Anderson is heading it up, so he's got to be be a bit more friendly with the boy in blue. But the one thing that I'm curious about is whether, Lieutenant Anderson getting, told and, feeling the pressure of that makes him go against Superman even more. He's like, you know what, I don't like being told what to do. I don't want, Superman feeling like he can just wave his cape around and, make me feel the pressure and put my job, on the line and stuff like that. So I'm going to go against him even more. I'm going to put more people on the field and put more super soldiers out there. I'm curious to see what he does, because he seems like the guy who's just not going to back down and then, put on a happy face whenever Superman walks in the door. So it wouldn't surprise me too much if he goes against Superman even more after feeling this pressure. But speaking of super, Jonathan appears to be taking more and more X-Kryptonite, and as the synopsis does say, Jordan notices something suspicious in Jonathan's bag. And in the trailer, we do see Jordan react to something in Jonathan's room really quickly, and also you see Jonathan in the locker room getting ready for football, sort of looking like he's tweaking out, as if he's either having withdrawals or he's just took it. I'd assume he's probably having a bit of withdrawals from not taking it, so he's running to his bag to take a breath of it, like a puff of it, like an inhaler. So yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on there, specifically with Jonathan. But the interesting thing with this is that if Jordan realizes that Jonathan is taking this X-Kryptonite, this drug, will Jordan keep it quiet? Or will he tell his mother or his father? Or maybe he tells his granddad, Sam, because obviously they've already got this secret going on where Sam's training Jordan, and obviously Jonathan went in there and beat Jordan's ass last episode. So will Jordan tell his granddad what's going on? And say, please keep it a secret, but you need to try and get through to Jonathan and stop him taking this or control him in some way, shape, or form. So I wonder what Jordan does. But of course, that's going to be very dramatic, whatever happens there. And speaking of drama, we have the Cushings after last episode where Kyle is exposed. And this brings up a question. What the hell happens next? Because many people have been, wondering and questioning the reasoning for this storyline. Why is it in the show? And, you always got to wait and see how something plays out. But I can understand why people are wondering that, because last season, the storyline with Kyle specifically and Lana lined up well with the main story. And you could see it as it was playing out. It involved Morgan Edge, it involved Smallville as a whole. But what happens here with this storyline? This feels like a very personal storyline. So where does it lead? And the only thing I can think of in regards to what we know this season and who's involved and what's happening with Kyle and the Cushings, maybe Kyle feels that he's an outcast after what happens here, and maybe Ali Alstrom swoops in and lures him into the inverse society, the inverse method, whichever way you want to put it. So that wouldn't be too surprising if that's the case. Not saying that's definitely what's going to happen, but that's just me thinking of where the storyline could go, and I guess specifically with what's happening with Kyle. But speaking of the main storyline, can Bizarro really be trusted? Because there's so many questions left to be answered, just a few of them. How the hell did he end up on this Earth? In that containment suit as well. There are so many questions left to be answered with the season as a whole, but also Bizarro specifically. Tyler Hoechlin said who plays Clark Kent Superman, just to add that in if you didn't know, he said in an interview, I think it was after that initial Bizarro reveal, so after episode 3, that viewers should not get, too settled on a potential resolution for this Bizarro character and the storyline surrounding him. That would be a rookie error for us as viewers. So keep your mind open for what's to come, and don't, cement yourself on where you think it's going to go, because you probably break your ankles trying to run away because they're locked into the ground in the cement. Because it's important to remember, Bizarro is still a Superman villain in the comics, so I think it's just, I said this in my review as well, I'm pretty sure, it could just be they're still enemies, they still don't like each other, they're still the opposites of each other, but they have a common enemy. They have a common enemy in the form of Ali Alstrom and whatever she's doing to Bizarro potentially and everything like that. So, yeah, there's still a lot of this season to go. That's the big question. This is the 10th last episode. We have 9 episodes to go after this 6th episode. So there's still a lot of storytelling to come our way if this storyline is the thing that goes till the end of the season. But that brings up the next thing I want to talk about, and that's a lot of stuff has happened this season. So will episode 7 roughly, maybe 8, but episode 7, because that's the most, that's the last episode title we have. Sorry, episode 7. I don't think we have the episode 8 one. So episode 7 is the last episode title we have, and it's also around the middle of the season. So could episode 7 end these current stories with Bizarro and Ali and move on to something else? You know, like half the season on this Bizarro world story, and then the other half on another half, sorry, on like another storyline. The only issue with that is that this would be the second last episode in that storyline. It feels like there's still a good amount to explain. But then again, like, you never know. Like, some episodes can just drop a bomb on you and just end a storyline really quickly, but in a satisfying way at the same time, even though you think that there might have been episodes, like more and more episodes to come way in that storyline. But maybe there's like something Ali has under control in the Bizarro world, which then starts the back half of the season, but it's still connected with the storyline. There can still be some explanations, though it feels like a new chapter. Or maybe there's just something from that Bizarro world that's not under her control that gets out, and whatever it might be. I'm curious to see where it goes, because I think there's still a good amount of episodes left to tell the story, but I'm not too sure if there's 10, including this episode 6 left, just because so much has happened in that opening 5. I'm just thinking, like, is there really that much room left? But then I think back to season 1. Season 1 felt like it was ending in like episode 11, and then it randomly had 4 more episodes to go, and it still was good. So I don't really want to, I don't really want to think too much in regards to where it should end, because we have season 1 as an example to not guess too far ahead. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes, and I think by episode 7 or 8 we'll have a good idea as to the larger scope of this season. Now, unfortunately, there is no promo images as per usual. They'll probably release them like as my video goes up, but at the time making them, there's no promo images, so can't go over them. But I must say, the Superman and Lois promo images haven't really been that revealing, I must say, this season compared to season 1 and the other shows as well. So it's not like there would have been anything great there anyway. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on everything. Always curious to read what you guys are saying. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.